Welcome to Checking In. Like the title says, this is the segment where we check in with the Wooten community. Joining me today, please welcome English 9 and AP Lit teacher, Mr. Zachary Hardy. Welcome, Mr. Hardy.
Thanks, Eric. Yeah, good to see you.
How have you been, Mr. Hardy?
Yeah, it's been good. I'm just on the online teaching grind. I'm, a little nervous, but also excited about getting back to school in person. It's been a long year just online. So just focusing at this point on finishing out the year on a strong note, I think.
Obviously, this is an abnormal school year, to say the least. The traditional classroom setting has shifted into our homes. Mr. Hardy, if you could walk us through your virtual teaching setup.
Setup's pretty basic, from being honest. Right now I'm in our bedroom and I'm just in my old chair, and it's not even a real desk necessarily. It's just kind of like a old piece of furniture I had in my bathroom at my old apartment because I just got married. So my wife and
Congrats.
I have to compete for the living room. So I've got like a proper desk with a desktop and a big monitor, but if I'm in a meeting or a call or something, I usually come in the bedroom here. So operating on a pretty low tech setup.
Okay. Well, congratulations on the marriage. How has virtual teaching been for you?
It started out a little painful just because this is my 5th year teaching in total. And so I felt like after the first couple of years of teaching, I was feeling pretty comfortable with it. Like I had, gotten better at it and finally knew what I was doing, just because the first couple of years it was pretty stressful and I felt a little lost a good bit of the time. So I kind of felt like I was almost in a first year teaching again, where I was figuring things out for the first time. So I feel like the first couple of months were definitely a little painful just because I didn't really get a sense of the timing, and I had anxiety about like not knowing the students and stuff. But now in these past couple of months, especially after the winter break, I feel like I've gotten a better hang of it and have a better sense of timing, and I was more diligent about learning people's names and I've been trying to do more things to get to know students this semester. So it's definitely gotten better over the past couple of months.
Yeah, hopefully we have one semester under our belt. What would you say the best part of virtual teaching is?
I mean, the best part, I feel like a lot of people would say similar things. I mean, not waking up as early is definitely pretty nice. Having a bit longer of a lunch break, just because I'm at my apartment, I can make whatever I want. My wife's here, so we can have coffee breaks during the day. So I feel like being cozy at home is the best part of online teaching.
Yeah. And just out of curiosity, you're an English teacher. What would you say your favorite font is?
Yeah, I have 2 favorite fonts. I'm a fan of Garamond and Cambria. Those are my 2 go-tos. Depends on what mood I'm in, but I would say Garamond's probably my standard. It's sort of like Times. It's maybe like a slightly fancier Times New Roman.
Okay. You hear that, students? Garamond.
Yeah.
Garamond. Well, here's to going back in a safe manner and everyone staying healthy. My thanks to Mr. Hardy for joining me today.
Yeah, thanks, Eric. Good talking to you.
Next, we're checking in with AP Psychology teacher and Honors Modern World teacher, Mayma Barclay. Welcome, Ms. Barclay.
Thank you.
How are you doing today, Ms. Barclay?
I'm doing well. Thank you. Thank you, Eric.
So, how has virtual teaching been for you?
For me, it has been twofold. In the beginning, there were many challenges, challenges regarding, and not just for me, but for students as well. I think we're all acclimating to this new platform, the abrupt, unplanned, some might even say unforeseen manner in which schools shuttered, push us all kind of out of the classroom without any any preparations. However, because we were not 100% sure between the end of June and the start of the school year, what the pandemic was going to phase into and what our teaching experiences are going to be, whether entirely in the building or outside, or at home, I think many of us had challenges. And from my specific experience, I recall in those that first month of September, just getting students to, and even myself, getting us all to just be on the same page about where things could be found. For example, some students were used to other teachers putting their activities in announcements versus, putting it in assignments. And so that created a little bit of I don't know if it was confusion for everyone, but it certainly did create some level of challenges. And consistently knowing where to find things, both from the teachers and the student end, was a little bit of a challenge in the beginning. But I think overall, especially in the second semester, by the end of the first semester into the second semester, I think we've all gotten a lot more better at it.
Okay. So would you say that the transition over and then getting this, making sure the students understand where assignments are is the most challenging part of teaching virtually?
Well, besides that aspect of it, for me it was, because this is where, as an educator, whatever the concerns are for students is where you pay the most attention. So when you have 2 or 3 emails saying, I don't know what my assignment is, it becomes a concern. And so for me, that was my focus in the beginning. In addition to that was also all of the other challenges of connectivity, Zoom dropping, students not knowing where to log in and what period they were supposed to be in at times. I had students that would come to my class and say, oh, I'm sorry, I logged into the wrong subject early, the wrong class or the wrong teacher. And for me, it was always no need for apologies. We're all going through this together. Other challenges would be personal ones, being homebound and not being able to interface with students, but then also having to deal with your own personal, concerns at home and needs. Because now your home is your home, but it's also your place of work. So those are some of the challenges, I would say.
On the flip side, what would you say is the best part of teaching virtual?
I think teaching virtual would probably reach a lot more kids in a very ironic way, because students who, I guess, but then again, for all things, there is a positive and then there is a negative, or pro and cons, right?
Yeah.
So you reach more students in as much as those students who may have not been so geared up to come to school because of extenuating circumstances in their home life are not able to log in and actually attend virtual classes. On the other side of that, some of those same students who were not present in schools are now also missing virtually, in as much as their engagement in class may, not have been improved at all. While others have used the opportunity to then say, well, I'm not in the classroom. I don't have to wake up early in the morning and traverse traffic and get ready. I can just get up, be in the comfort of my home, and engage with my instructors. So those have been some of the good, the positives. The other positives for me is the fact that I think I get to work from the comfort of my home.
Yeah.
I constantly worry about those students though, who, if their home life is not the best, what does that mean for them? However, I think all of us having been able to be safe and not exposed has been an overarching positive outcome of this. Those who have, I know there are many of us who have been impacted otherwise as well.
Yeah. And finally, are you excited to be going back?
That's a twofold response. I'm excited in as much as, yes, I get to interface again and interact with my colleagues. I get to have an in-person conversation with a person rather than someone via a virtual tunnel. And for the few students who I will see on a weekly basis, yes, I'm looking forward to seeing them. And also being able to give a hands-on support, not necessarily hovering over a kid, but just just in as much as I can answer a question directly when a kid is in the classroom. That's the excitement. The things that I'm not excited about will be all of the anxieties around.
Yeah.
We're going to be interacting with people with whom we are not 100% sure, or I should say whose activities I cannot ensure that the kids that are coming to me, that their activities and behavior outside of the class have not exposed them. And what does that mean for my own health? And similarly, my exposure to them as well.
Mhm.
No matter how careful we all are, we cannot 100% guarantee these things. And then lastly, I do not want to be back in traffic every morning and every afternoon on 270. Just not something I'm looking forward to. But overall, I always say, look, teaching is like being in the military at times. Once you are on the battlefield, there is no going back. And so when you join it, you're there for the haul. So I'm excited to go back and see students.
Oh, okay. That was a nice analogy. Well, here's to going back in a safe manner and everyone staying healthy. My thanks to Ms. Barclay for joining me today.
Thank you so much, Eric. It was a pleasure being on.